I
This
mean,
is
isn't that
stupid.
just, it's just wild. I mean, it is
Yeah.
wild to me. I mean, seriously, I mean, some of these checks that come in consistently all the time, it's mind boggling because you just think, I mean, it's just even one override check. I'll get an override check and I'll look at it and it'd be $1,000 or something like that. And I'll think, somebody out there, the majority of America had to work an entire week, right? Maybe a week and a half in most cases,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
To generate something that just came into my account after somebody last night, one person in the organization wrote one sale, like an entire week, and I wasn't even there. And so I just think it's so important, if you're listening out there right now or watching this right now, please, whatever you can do to get yourself in a position to create a lot of reoccurring income is what you should be thinking about. Jobs are fine. And if you got to keep a job right now, that's wonderful. If you got to, do something on the side part-time or whatever, and we'll teach you how to do all that kind of stuff. But if you got to have a job, there's nothing wrong with that. But there's got to be an exit plan from that job, because if you want the lifestyle that Jim just explained, the ability to be able to call your own shots, in my opinion, there's only one way to get that, and that's to have massive, passive, reoccurring income that never stops. And the only way that I've found how to do that, and Jim, you might have some other ideas here, but the only way that I've thought, understood how to get that is you got to build a business. You got to recruit people and train people and develop people and help a lot of other people get what they want. And so what are some of the other things, Jim, looking back, did you do that you think, because again, you're one of the most successful people in the history of the company. What are a couple of the things that don't try to be modest or humble or anything like that. Let's be honest, okay? Millions of people have been recruited in this deal. You are one of the most successful, you and your business and your family and so anyway, what are some of the things that come to your mind that you did differently on why you had success and so many people didn't?
I'll get to that, but let me just kind of address one other thing that we just kind of spin off of what we talked about a second ago. One of the things that I keep selling all the time is the power of distribution. If you think about Amazon or Walmart and what Walmart did to the mom and pop shops around the country 40 years ago, 50 years ago when they started in, Amazon changed the retail. Everybody knows those stories, right? Well, that is happening right in front of people's eyes in the financial service business, because we just bought a company for the first company we bought, okay? And so I'm on the pilot committee, a pilot group that's actually launching the new, senior health program, right? And so that power of distribution is what I want to talk about. Is like, it's worth going through some people, finding the hungry and the ready, and getting these people going, because I don't have all the RVPs in the world, but we have 110. And so if, I just try to be as modest as I possibly could. And so this is going to add somewhere between 50 and 100,000 a year to my income, in just, even though the product is only going to be sold 6 months of the year. It's just crazy. And so just to think about that, why? Because we have a distribution house of 110 and 2,500 licensed people. So if you think about that, there's a lot of people with more people, and that, at the end of the day, just on that size though, being able to affect your life that much, I said, like a lot of people at McDonald's, when they came out with McSandwich or whatever, next thing with an MC in front of it, it doesn't matter. They just already have a distribution system built. Same thing here. People have to understand the power of that. And I always sell that. I think they can't hardly fathom that in early days, but if they just put one foot in the other, they can, And so what was the other question about?
I just
early.
Yeah. So some of the things that maybe, how are you different? Why were you different? What can we gain from what you went through early on?
I always did was I was full-time early, and they always said, you got to stay in business long enough to build a business. And that was the thing I hung my hat on, trying to write business of some kind all the time. So there was always cash flow. Okay. There was always money coming in, whether there's chargebacks, slow pay systems of the early days with snail mail checks and all that stuff, right? None of that mattered. What really mattered was, did I have any new stuff coming through the front door? And so I knew that if I could write it myself, I can control my destiny. As I focused on that, I know you did that same thing, is where we actually, just write the business ourselves and field train new people along the way. And if they quit, I didn't care, but we're still writing business and creating income. And so I always that was my thing. I always hung my hat on and I had lots of awards in the early days because we always were out there doing it and didn't care what other people said and just focused on that. So doing it every day, making sure you're, stay in business long enough to build a business and just get away from ever worrying about what other people think.
Oh man, that's good stuff. Well, Jim, this has been absolutely incredible. This has been so much fun to hang out with you today. And I really mean this. I mean, you and Mary are a couple of my favorite people in the company. And I love hearing you because there's so much wisdom, there's so much knowledge, there's just so much history to what you understand in this industry, in this company. And, you're the real deal, man. I mean, you're one of the greatest guys I know. And I just hope that, that people reach out and try to find you, because I know that there are people in Kansas or even, around the country that are kind of watching you right now and they're going, you know what, I'd like to be in business with this dude, and I want you to kind of tell us some places that they can go to be able to reach out and find you, so they can have a conversation with you if it makes sense.
Well, thank you. And you and Karma are the same way. We feel like, you guys have been, we've traded back and forth working with each other for many, many years and spent a lot of time on the beaches of the world together. So great job. And you've been such an inspiration to us with your social media presence. And so congratulations on the success that you've had with that as well. So continue that. Keep growing. One of the things that I think is we've had a lot of fun with and where people can maybe find us is, bornforthis.online. If they go to bornforthis.online, a few months back, a couple of years ago, we started evolving into where we rebranded ourselves in so many different areas. And so whether it was a landing page, motion graphic videos, profile videos, all kinds of technology pieces that to animate and to automate the business and make it very streamlined. And so somebody coming in today, even though they're not my age, they're going to be saying, this is the coolest business I've ever seen. I wanted to attract that kind of business. And so we've been able to really create that. And it's just so fun it keeps us young for sure. We have a blast doing it. And, I think that's the thing is just bornforthis.online is our landing page. And if you can go there, you can get in contact with us. Our links are all there and you can get connected with us from that. So that's probably the easiest thing.
Thank you for watching our short clips on Alonzo Academy. If you'd like to watch the next short clip, click here. If you'd like to watch the entire podcast, click here.